21. Then,
Get a little bit of a roller coaster
Yeah.
ride, right?
and yeah, trim set. Taxi on landing lights.
Traffic, Maryland, Helicopter Street, jump off the Delta 5 southwest, following
saw
the
them.
river to the east. Once we get directly south of the airport, we'll
So
be
keep
turning
landing
inbound.
lights on and the taxi lights off.
We'll leave the landing. We'll turn the landing light off since we are.
Final runway 30 outside traffic.
410, we've got inside.
You turn the landing light off and taxi and landing. Yeah.
We're about 2 years
And
west
leave
southwest.
strobe,
We've got this one.
beacon.
Yeah, it's on.
Northwest, north flat traffic,
And-
56100.
So strobe we'll leave on.
Okay.
South 3,800 following the track, inbound 17 northwest.
So let's hold 5,200.
Okay.
And let's turn to a heading of west.
Okay.
So 270 or just roll it on the roads. Okay, so you can do anywhere from standard rate to 30-degree bank, okay?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so 5,200 is going to be, you're going to have to find it a little bit today, all right? Okay, let's get set up for some steep turns,
Okay.
all right?
Yep.
Do you remember how to do that, or do you want me to demonstrate?
So airspeed 90 around.
Yep. About 2,100 RPM,
Okay.
maybe a little less.
Okay, around 20.
Okay, well, yeah, we'll try 20.
Yep, 20 RPM. It's 95 knots.
About 90,
90.
95.
95. Oh, okay. I gotta do from, okay, left.
And then you're going to add power, so,
Okay.
okay?
Okay. 45 is right here.
Yes, right in between the 60 and the 30.
Okay.
So 5 traffic, head back 95, 9 Mike, Alpha is 8 miles to the east out of 6,000, climbing 190, switching, left flat.
Okay, so some back pressure, right?
Okay.
Or don't descend. So keep that nose in the same spot. About 200 RPM is needed once you roll into 45. And then don't forget to use that trim, okay?
Okay, yeah.
Cardi traffic, Maryland, Helicopter Street.
Little shallow. Yeah, there you go. Keep that 45 in.
Inbound to the ramp, Carney.
Kearney traffic, Skyhawk 2316 Tango's in 11.5 to the southwest, maneuvering at 5,200 Kearney.
Oh, you're descending. Oh,
Little steep, almost a 55-degree bank, so just hold that.
okay.
That's probably why we lost so much altitude, because the steeper the bank, the more altitude we lose, right? More back pressure needed to just maintain level.
Oh, now it's good.
Okay, 5,200, so we're 200 feet low.
Oh,
All right. You're within standards for this stage, okay?
Yeah.
So 250 is the goal.
okay.
Now, as we go on, then it's going to be close. You're going to be expected to hold within 100 feet, okay? But for right now, that's fine, okay?
Yeah.
That was good. All right, let's do, before we do our next maneuver,
100, 6 miles to the southeast, inbound 17, following the railroad track to 3,700.
I want you to just get used to doing clearing turns, okay? So just think clearing turns. So if I say, let's get set up for slow flight, I want you to say, okay, I'm going to do a clearing turn first. All right? Let's do a clearing turn to the north, and then we'll go back to the east.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah. So turn to
So we'll do a 180 clearing turn. You can either do 290 or 180. So we'll do a 180 to the north.
With 15 degrees bank standard.
You could do 30.
Okay.
And standard rate will change depending on our airspeed.
Traffic, helicopter,
It's about 15 degrees.
Southeast Airport, we may come in.
I'm sorry, 15%
Doing some hover practice.
of our airspeed. So if we're at 9, 15% is going to be like 14 degrees bank. If we're at 100, excuse me, if we're at 90 knots, not 9. If we're at 100, all right.
Okay.
Oh, we could, no, 180 is perfectly fine because we've cleared the area that we'll be maneuvering.
Then.
All right, let's go ahead and get set up for slow flight.
Okay.
No carb heat this because it's fuel injected.
Okay.
All right, so we'll bring power back to 1500.
So, yeah, 15.
All right, and under 110 knots, we can add 10 degrees of flaps.
One more flaps.
Right, yep, go ahead and add,
20.
we'll go 30 degrees. Okay, 10 more degrees of flaps.
Okay.
So, 55.
Okay.
Traffic,
Let's do a turn to the north. So standard rate turn.
Southeast, going to join the left downwind
Nice
17.
small movements. 55.
Okay.
So we pitch for airspeed and power for throttle. Or I mean power for altitude.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, and we'll do a turn back to the east.
Okay.
Very good. Good job on your airspeed. All right, let's go into just one thing on your altitude, okay? So if you need to add power to maintain altitude, you can add power, all right? We'll get back up to 5,200 while holding 55.
Okay.
So if we want to climb, we might need a little bit more power, right? You can go full power. There's nothing that says that you can't use full power in slow flight, all right?
Yeah.
We're a little slow.
It's 50.
Pitch for 55. Okay, and if you cannot maintain altitude, okay, you have full power.
Okay.
We've got to climb today, it's okay. But if you cannot maintain altitude, take out 10 degrees of flaps. So go to 20 degrees if you can, okay?
Okay.
You're completely able to do that. So the goal is 55, you want to be in your slow flight. All right, let's go ahead and do a power off stall. So let's pitch for 65 knots.
Okay.
And then we'll say 5,200 is the ground. So 5,200, we're gonna go ahead and take power all the way out. And then we're gonna maintain our heading. We're looking outside, we can tell we're moving back and forth, right?
Northbound traffic, 56.
Okay, so pitch for 65.
Left base 17, northbound.
Okay, so we're pitching for 65. Let's take out power. Let's go pull power back just like we're at 1500. Otherwise, we'll just keep climbing. Okay, so power back to 1500. We're looking for 5,200, so 65, you're doing really good holding airspeed. I know it's tough today, but you're doing really well. Okay. A little bit of power out, we're about 1,600. All right, there's the ground. We're gonna go ahead and close the throttle, so power all the way back, and then let's start pitching up. Just maintain, just try to hold this altitude right
Okay.
here. There we go. Okay, all the way down, pitch all the way down. There we go, just enough to break the stall and build that airspeed up, full power.
Okay, full power.
There you go. And then start your climb. Okay, so you climb at 57 BX, and then when you get a positive rate, take out 10 degrees of flap. Okay, now pitch for 65, positive rate.
Walking laps.
Okay, let that register.
Okay.
Pitch again, because you have to change your pitch every time you take out flaps, right? So pitch for 65 again. Or I'm sorry, 75. And then there you go. Okay, very nice. Look at that.
Oh.
Minimal altitude loss.
Yeah.
Okay, but don't be afraid to break that stall.
Okay.
Okay. Let's turn back to the. Actually, let's turn to the. Here, let's do a simulated engine failure, Mike.
Fuel control.
Okay. I just want to get away from the departure end of the runway. All right, Mike. Sorry, my controls. I didn't do a good job of verifying that. All right. Yeah. No. I see what you're doing. You just want to try to lose as little altitude as possible, but we don't want to go into a secondary stall.
Okay.
So pitch over as much as you need to break that stall.
Okay.
And then build that airspeed, okay?
Yep.
So instead of breaking the stall and then trying to climb again, because we're, 40, 45 knots, pitch over until you get to VX, okay?
Yep.
And then you can climb at that when you get positive rate.
Okay.
So we're gonna do a simulated engine failure. I don't want you to be scared because I'm not actually taking power all the way out, okay?
Yeah.
But we're gonna go through what we would do. So I'm gonna simulate this, all right? We're gonna pitch for 65, so look at this.
Yep.
We've got all this airspeed that we are gonna trade. Watch what's happening. We went from a descent to a climb. We're actually climbing, okay? So we do have some power in, all right? But if we were pitching for 65, we wouldn't be losing as much altitude. Now we're gonna look for a place to land. So the wind's coming from the south.
Okay.
It's best to,
Maybe.
oh, look at that. There's a pivot right there with dirt.
But it's not flat. Let's see.
It's not flat, but it's gonna be just a.
Really?
It's not gonna be that. It's not that hilly.
Maybe right there. Can you see that?
Okay.
It's very flat and very.
All right. I kind of don't like those trees. I see something right here.
Oh.
All right. I'm gonna start turning back around, and I'm gonna go ahead. Fuel sectors on both.
Shut off.
Mixture's rich. I'm holding 65, and I'm turning around to get set up for landing. Okay. And I'm coming over throttle. Oh, maybe it was the throttle. All right. And then magnetos. Oops, I forgot to check this. All right, let's back it up with the checklist. You go over the checklist.
Okay.
All right, so you see where I'm landing? That dirt pivot right there, half circle?
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna go right to it. The wind is kind of blowing me a little bit north, so that's actually helping me not get too far away. Okay, so let's make sure that I didn't forget anything.
Okay.
Still holding 65.
Yes, 65. Landing sign.
Okay.
Fuel sector. Fuel shut off valve.
Okay, so we're making sure okay,
sure.
so that's in
And make sure full rich.
mixture's rich.
And a fuel pump.
Oh, fuel pump. All right. So fuel pump I would turn that fuel pump on.
Yeah.
Okay.
And ignition switch both.
Okay, and then make sure that's on. So both magnetos are on. All right, great. Did not work. All right, so still holding 65, and we are pretty much over the landing spot right now. Okay, so that didn't work. Now I'm going to shut down. So fuel selector, shut off valve. We're going to pull it out to off. Mixture goes all the way idle. Throttle doesn't matter anymore, right? Come over, and our magnetos, we can go ahead and turn the ignition switch into the off position.
Okay.
All right. 121.5. It's already set in there. Mayday, mayday, mayday. Skyhawk 2316 Tango is 8 miles to the south southwest of Kearney Airport. We have an engine failure. We have 2 people on board. Please send help. Okay. So we're circling over our spot, and we have 2,000 feet left to go. Now, if we had an actual engine failure, we would have descended much faster, right? But what we want to do is try to set it up as close to an actual pattern as possible so we don't forget our things. So as we're coming over, this is now, we're turning base.
Okay.
And then this would be our final, turning final, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna try to set it up. We have already determined that we are losing about 500 feet per turn because today we're getting great performance. Sometimes we lose 1,000 feet per turn. So if we have 2,000 feet to go, that may be a couple more turns. Our goal is to try to set it up to where we have a normal downwind.
Okay.
Where we can say this is where we are going to land and then determine if we need flaps or not. All right, so this is how you would do an actual simulated engine failure, okay?
Yep.
And then when we're done with the radios, okay, and we would squawk 77700.
For emergency.
Okay. Yes. And then once we were all done with flaps, okay, we can put flaps in. Now we're 1,500 feet above the ground, so I don't want to get lower than 1,000 feet just because of people out here. I want to be safe, and also I don't want to scare them. Okay. But we could add flaps. We could do a slip down, right? Side slip. So we do opposite aileron and rudder, and that would help us lose. So if we could do a slip and put in more flaps, we would have that our landing spot made. All right?
Yep.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and recover above 1,000 feet.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do full power.
Yep.
Just like a go around.
And positive
rate. Flaps come up. Okay, we'll climb at 75. All right, let's go ahead and go back to the airport. So do you know how to find the airport from here?
Yep.
Yep. Okay, your controls?
Control.
I may have that trimmed up wrong. Sorry about that. All right, so we will get
Remarks.
a loss.
Density altitude 3,100.
And go ahead and stay at this altitude.
Airport. Automated weather.
Let me think about this. So we're gonna fly over town.
43 Zulu. Wind 170 at 13. Peak gusts 17. Visibility 10. Sky conditions.
We're gonna go head
Temperature 2.
straight for the airport. We're gonna fly over the midpoint.
Minus 0.1 Celsius. Altimeter 3.
And climb up to
5.
4,000.
Yeah, 3005.
Altitude 3.
We'll say 4,100. We'll be 2,000 feet above Kearney, okay?
Okay, so
We want to be at a safe altitude in case we had an engine failure.
yeah.
We wouldn't want to land on somebody's house or on campus.
Yeah.
Right? We would want to be able to land in a field or something. So we'll stay high enough,
Okay.
and then we'll aim straight for Kearney. I'm
Okay.
going to make a radio call. Kearney traffic, Skyhawk 2316 Tango is 6 miles to the southwest at 4,500 inbound for 20 Kearney. All right, so this is a good altitude. We can.
Okay.
All right, so let's do our before landing.
Before
Our descent.
descent.
Uh,
Yeah, pure sector, both power. A little. Okay, making sure reach. Altimeter set. And now, okay, set.
let's turn right towards the airport because I think the wind's gonna blow us this way, so it'll be perfect.
Okay. And before landing checklist.
Okay.
Seat belts. Yeah. Good.
Check.
Making sure.
Yep. And so yeah, we could start enriching
Okay.
it as we pass below 3,000.
And autopilot off.
Autopilot's off.
Taxiing on landing lights. Yeah, on. Okay, off.
Does
Yeah.
it really say taxi?
Yeah, taxi.
Oh, okay.
So,
Every checklist is a little different. Like as far as some items. Kearney traffic Skyhawk 2316 Tango is 2.5 miles to the west and we'll be overflying the runway 3600 to join downwind for runway 18. Kearney.
Seven 600.
Okay, 3600. We'll just maintain that.
Okay. So make the right jet drop.
What's that?
Jet drop.
Oh yeah, we'll make a teardrop. So we'll go past.
Yeah.
We won't start our descent until after we're over downwind. Want to make sure that there's no turbine aircraft, but they fly the pattern at 3,600, and they fly a little bit wider because they make turns wider. So we'll just make sure we maintain this altitude.
Okay.
Okay, so as we do our teardrop turn, that wind is gonna push us this way.
Okay.
So let's do, let's try to, when we start our descent, let's descend this way to the south. Okay? Kearney traffic, Skyhawk 2316 Tango's 3,600 over the airfield, and we'll be doing a right teardrop turn to join a 45 for left-hand lane for 18 Kearney. All right, so go ahead now and start our descent down to 3,100. So we're just gonna descend first, and then we can start our teardrop
Okay.
to the south. Okay, yeah, now we can start turning, and then start our descent. So about right here, roll out until we get to 3,100.
Okay.
We want to be at traffic pattern altitude before we actually enter the pattern.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because it's very difficult to see aircraft below us.
Yeah.
It blends in with the ground. But we are their level, it's a lot easier. Okay,
Okay.
that looks good. We'll just turn back. Kearney traffic, Skyhawk 2316 Tango's right teardrop turn inbound for runway 18, left downwind 18 Kearney. Okay, so we're really low. Let's get back up to 3,100
Okay.
and 90 knots. So leave power where it is and just trade that airspeed for altitude. All right, a little closer, just a little closer, okay? And a little higher. If we start at the right altitude, then we should be able to land nicely without too many modifications. Okay, now you can start turning. There you go. Okay, so 2,000 on downwind, 90 knots, 3,100. Looking good. I'm gonna have to land because it's so gusty, but I want you to get everything set up, okay? So there's downwind, a beam, our touchdown point. The numbers, okay, so power back to 15. As long as we're below 110 degrees, or 110 knots, which we should be in the pattern. we're gonna add 10, go ahead and put 10 in. And now we're looking for 85. So let the nose come down and hold 85 knots so we can start our descent.
It's 45.
Okay, 45. Then go ahead and turn base.
Okay.
Connie traffic Skyhawk 2316 Tango's turn left base for 1 Carney. Okay, I'm gonna have you get the radio call for final.
Okay.
All right. So when you're turning base to final, I want you to let traffic know that you're turning final
Okay.
for runway 18, and then say full stop.
Okay.
Okay, so we can
75.
let's put in 10 more degrees of flaps,
Okay, 20.
and that's probably all I'm gonna want in. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, let's look for final.
Nobody.
Those business jets like to come in on final without flying in the pattern. Okay, we're just a little low. Let's just pitch
Up.
and add a little bit of power. Okay.
Yeah.
And then,
Let me go ready call.
yeah.
Carney traffic Skyhawk 16 Tango on the final for runway 18. Cross slope. Carney.
Okay, good. All right, so we can be a little faster.
Yeah.
70,
Yeah.
70.
Yeah, Carney 65.
Quite good. 70, 75. Okay, and can you bring up the lights? Do you know how to do
Okay,
that with
yeah.
the click? So we're a little
no.
slow. I'm gonna add a little bit.
Oh, did I? Oh, yeah.
Yep, look at that. All right. All right, now I'm gonna bring that power just up a little bit. Okay. Okay, and power out just a little bit more. And we're just a little fast. I'm actually going to we'll just aim for the 1,000-foot markers. We're just a little fast because we've got extra speed for wind flaps, and hold that nose right there. Okay, good. All right, and then we go power. Let's go the next one.
Okay, Charlie.
I don't feel like skidding off the.
Yeah.
And then just keep that wind and wind correction in. Which it feels like it. See how the windsock's waving back and forth?
Yeah.
So it feels like it's kind of coming from this side too. All right, there's Charlie.
Hey.
And then once our tail's over the hold short line, we can say we're down and clear of runway 18, taxiing back to Big Air, or the ramp.
Yeah.
Carney traffic Skyhawk 16 Tango clear of runway 18 at Charlie, taxiing to the ramp via Alpha. Carney.
All right.
Okay.
And I should actually have you do the after landing checklist before we make the radio call.
Okay.
You can make 2 radio calls. You can just say down and clear of runway 18 at Charlie, and then you can do the checklist, and then say, okay, we're taxiing back to Big Air.
Okay.
We're at.
Okay, after launch checklist.
Yeah.
Laps up.
Okay.
Very set for takeoff. Yeah. Now lights off. No. So landing lights off. Okay. Complete.
Okay. There you go. And then we'll just lean this back out for taxi.
2 fingers.
Yeah, about an inch. Yeah, 2 fingers. So yeah, I should have you do step by step. That way you don't feel rushed.
Okay.
If there were traffic landing behind us, we could do 2 radio. We could just say, we're clear of the runway,
Okay.
and then do our after landing check. And then when we're ready, we could say, okay, now we're taxiing to Big Air. We're at taxiway Charlie.
Okay.
And Alpha. Okay.
Heading to the wind to park.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so you just,
Next
you
to the Charlie
yeah,
Foxtrot.
you can take the first spot.
Okay.
Handicap parking. No. Just, VIP parking.
Okay. Oh, VIP.
Okay, so just go a little bit slower, just so they don't start running for cover.
Okay.
Okay.
Shut down. So want to nothing. Okay. Avionics master off.